Hi guys, it's Cameron from the Mighty Blues. Welcome back today to another live stream. This is the big one. Welcome to the game preview for Everton versus Liverpool on Sunday. It's the Merseyside derby. It's at Goodison Park. We all know what happened the last time we played Liverpool in the Premier League, all the way back in December. Really the downfall for Everton this season. I'd say, before the Merseyside derby, we were in really good form. We were playing some really good football. We weren't fearing any team. And then that mistake from Jordan Pickford has taken things that way for Everton since then. So hopefully things can go full circle on Sunday and we can get out of this awful run of bad form over the last couple of months and we can end it with a victory, and then we can have started a bad run of form with the poor game against Liverpool and ended it with a good game against Liverpool. But that's just my hope anyway. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, of course. Liverpool obviously top of the league. It kills me to say it and it's horrible to say it, but statistically the best team in the league at the moment, although I don't think they are. But they're top of the league, so it's not just a Merseyside derby. It's a game against one of the top sides in this league. It's a game against a very, very good side that pose some big attacking threats, and that, defensively strong as well. And that's the way we have to look at it. It's easy to look at it and go, it's a Merseyside derby, nothing else matters. It's just about the both teams on the day. And although it is about that, and we should be looking at this not thinking about where Liverpool are in the league and not thinking about how good of a season Liverpool have had, but taking a step back and having a little look at the Premier League table, you do have to look and think, okay, so they've played this this well all season. They've only lost one game, of course, so it is going to be a tough game for Everton. And listen, no hiding away from the fact that no player should be given less than 150% on Sunday. Not one of them. Doesn't matter who starts, doesn't matter what Marco Silva goes with, doesn't matter what players he decides to put out. We'll talk obviously about my predicted starting 11 in just a second of the team that I think Marco Silva will play rather than the team that I would like him to play. We'll talk about it in just a minute, but like I said, there's no excuse to not give 150%. We're playing a team that, okay, yes, might have been doing well this season, okay, yes, might currently be sitting top of the Premier League, but at the end of the day, they're our nearest rivals and they're the team that we hate the most. And yeah, I don't really like that word, but I'll use it because I hate Liverpool. So we need to go out and we need to give the aggression and the passion and the fight that we know we can give. And you know what? We need to go into this game with the confidence that we ended the game on Tuesday night with. We played okay on Tuesday until we scored the first goal, and then we started to get into the rhythm of things, and then we started to play with confidence, and then you started to see, us playing some nice attacking, attractive football, players taking players on, taking risks, and, reaping the rewards of that. Gylfi Sigurdsson being on the ball, of course, but it all needs to happen again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've said it in previous live streams, doesn't matter what our next game is, whether it's a Merseyside derby, whether it's a game against Fulham, whether it's a game against Manchester City, we need to win 2 games on the bounce in the Premier League because we need that run of form to go in. The odd win here and there isn't doing anything for us, and if we lose on Sunday or we don't get a decent result on Sunday, then the win against Cardiff on Tuesday really doesn't mean much, exactly like the win against Burnley on Boxing Day didn't mean much because we went on to lose the next game after that one as well. So obviously it's a massive game. It's a massive game for both sides. Liverpool can't afford to slip up at all. They can't afford to lose any more points because Man City are hot on their tails and they are looking brilliant as well. So Liverpool can't afford to slip up. As far as Liverpool are concerned, they need to win every single game from now until the end of the season, and we're their next obstacle in the way, if you like. And I said this a couple of weeks ago when we played Manchester City, and a lot of fans were saying, well, not a lot of fans, but there's a couple of fans saying, oh, maybe we, it wouldn't be too bad if we lost the game because it would benefit Manchester City and it would stop Liverpool winning the league. And I said, no, we need to beat Manchester City because it's, it's about Everton first and foremost. I don't give a shit about Liverpool. It's about Everton Football Club. That's the team that we support. We don't support Liverpool. We support Everton. And then I said, plus, we play them at Goodison Park in a couple of weeks. So if that's serious about stopping them winning the league, then we'll beat them at Goodison Park. We'll put 110% in. And if we don't beat them, we'll make sure that the game is a living hell for them. And that's what we've got to do on Sunday. We've got to turn up, not just for, the fact that, to stop them winning the league or whatever. We've got to do it for ourselves because we really need a massive win. We need a massive result. We haven't had a big win this season, I wouldn't say. We haven't beaten any of the top 6 away or at home. Granted, we're playing majority of them away. But we haven't played any of the top 6, and even the teams in and around us we've struggled against. We need a big win this season. You go back to Everton previous years and you remember the big wins, the wins against Manchester United, the wins against Chelsea, the wins against Arsenal. We need a massive, massive win, and hopefully that comes on Sunday. Listen, although Liverpool are top of the league and, you know, they're a decent team, I don't think they're the best team since sliced bread. I really, really don't, and I think they can be exposed. I think that they can be exposed defensively, and I think their midfield as well can be quite weak at times, so we need to make sure that we're dictating the play in that midfield. We need to make sure that when we've got the ball, we're not giving it away sloppily. We're not just passing the ball out of play. We're not running into people. You know, we've seen in the first sort of 20 minutes of the game against Cardiff on Tuesday, it was really sloppy. We were giving the ball away. We weren't comfortable. We weren't composed. We were just, you know, we were just absolutely taking advantage of the possession that we had and just giving it back and giving it out. It was the pure fact that Cardiff weren't good enough to do anything with it when they had the ball as to the reason why, you know, they didn't expose us defensively. We can't do that with a team like Liverpool. If we're sloppy and if we're giving the ball away and we're giving Liverpool the ball, they'll break, and they've got some really good players, and it kills me to say it. It does kill me to say it, but the likes of Mane, Salah, Shaqiri will probably play because Firmino will be injured. They're good players, and they can hurt any team in this league, probably any team in Europe. So we need to make sure that we're not sloppy and we're not giving them any opportunities. You know what killed me the most about the Merseyside derby and Anfield was the fact that we gifted them the goal. They didn't deserve the win. They didn't deserve it at all. They done nowhere near enough to win that game, but we gifted them the goal. If it had turned round and it'd have been the 96th minute and Salah had bit one from 30 yards and it'd have gone in, I'd have gone, you know what, it's gutter than that, it's horrible, but that's just what happens sometimes. But it didn't. We gifted them the goal, and it'll frustrate me even more if we gift them another goal on Sunday or we gift them a decision, because we already know the referee is. It's Martin Atkinson. He's refereed derbies before, and I think he's a Liverpool fan, if I'm being blatantly honest with you. So we're not going to get anything from the referee. Hence my decision to take Richarlison out of this team and put Bernard in instead. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything for ourselves and we're stepping up to Liverpool, because we stepped up to them in Anfield and it was the best Merseyside derby I've seen in Anfield in years. We stepped up to them. We weren't scared of them. We said, you know what, come on then. Let's go. Let's go toe-to-toe. And we went toe-to-toe with them, and you know what? If we'd have had a little bit more composure in the box, we'd have scored 2 or 3 goals before the Origi situation, and we probably would have won that game. And that's exactly what we need to do again on Sunday. We need to go toe-to-toe to them, and we can't be scared. Just going to tweet the stream out so everybody on Twitter knows that we are live. If you are enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like. It's a massive, massive game, of course, like I said, for both teams. No need to hype up or hype down a Merseyside derby. You know how much it means to Everton, you know how much it means to us Evertonians, and listen, there's no room for slipping up, there's no room for not giving it 150%, like I've said, and we need to step up, because we do. Because the last 25 minutes of the Cardiff game was a lot better and was what I want to see from Everton, playing with confidence, playing with composure, creating chances, breaking teams down, and really just showing that, you know, we've got the quality to beat teams like Cardiff. But the first 20 minutes, if we play like that and start the derby like that, we could be 2-0 down before half time. So we cannot do that. We cannot afford to do it. We need to be on the ball, and we need to go into this game with the confidence that we ended the Cardiff game with. And there's no excuse as to why we shouldn't. No excuse as to why we shouldn't go into Sunday going, you know what, we battered Cardiff last time out. Let's go and give these a good harding as well on Sunday. Am I confident? I'm never confident for the Merseyside derby. Am I looking forward to it? I'm excited. I really am excited, because I think that if we play with confidence and we play with heart and we play with passion, that we can get something out of the game. I'm nervous, and I will be even more nervous come tomorrow and Sunday, but I am excited. And you know, a part of the excitement comes from watching Marco Silva recently, seeing him against Cardiff, seeing him in his pre-game press conference to the Liverpool game, seeing him in the pre-game press conference to the Cardiff game. He seems to have gained a little bit of an edge to him, a little bit of a, you know, a furious edge to him. He's not going to sit down and get battered by, you know, press. He's not going to sit down and take any shit. And we've seen it on the line against Cardiff. He was standing on the sideline and he was making sure the players knew he was there, and he was making sure that the players knew that when it wasn't good enough, it wasn't good enough. You've seen him with the press, the journalist again in the pre-game press conference for Cardiff, when he turned around to the journalist and said, listen, you're twisting me words, so don't do that. Basically, he stood up to him. We've seen him again today. He's had his pre-game press conference today for the Merseyside derby. He was asked a question, a very clear, straightforward question, is what do you think on Jurgen Klopp saying that this game is like a World Cup final for Everton? Now, I just want to get it out the way, my opinion. I'm not going to give too much of an opinion on Jurgen Klopp. I think he's a tit. I do. I'm sorry if there's Liverpool fans watching this. You'll probably dislike the video. You'll probably leave comments in the comment section. But I just think he's a tit. I do. I think he's contradicts himself majorly. Majorly contradicts himself constantly. And I think Jurgen Klopp, as is a lot of Liverpool fans, seem to think that by telling Everton that we're not important and that we're not irrelevant and that it's not a big game for Liverpool and that, oh, they've got a Champions League in this, and then celebrating like they did when they beat us is like, it's just a contradiction. But anyway, less of my opinion. Marco Silva's asked what you think basically about the comments from Jurgen Klopp. What do you think about Jurgen Klopp saying this game is like a World Cup final to Everton? And Marco Silva said they scored a lucky goal in the last Merseyside derby and they celebrated like it was a World Cup final, and he smiled. And I like that. I like that because he could have turned around and said, listen, I respect Jurgen Klopp, blah, blah, and given all that, you know, same old bullshit. But he didn't. He went, if you're going to have a go at us, we're going to have a go at you. You made yourself look like a tit because you ran on the pitch like a knobhead and you celebrated like it was a World Cup final, so don't start coming at it with us. It's a massively important game for us, probably our most important game of the season, every season, but it is to them as well. And if you're an Evertonian watching, or you know you're in work or you're in school and you've got Liverpool fans telling you that it's not important this, it's not important that, don't listen to them because it's the most important game for them. Regardless of where they are in the league, regardless of the Champions League, it's their most important game, and they'll celebrate. Unless they won the league or the Champions League again, they'll celebrate the derby win more than they'd celebrate beating any other team. I don't care what anybody says. So just don't listen to them. But anyway, like I said, that edge that Marco Silva now seems to have is to, you know, to give it back to people, to say, if you're going to have a go at my team, I'm going to stick up for them and have a go at you. And I'm going to say, hang on, that's not right. And I think I like that about Marco Silva. I like that he's got that edge. I like that he's showing that heart and he's showing that passion and he's showing that little bit of aggression towards, you know, the football club, Everton, towards Everton, showing he cares. It shows that he cares, and that comes through with the players on Tuesday night. And we've got to hope that comes through on Sunday as well, because we've got to hope that he's in that dressing room on Sunday before the game going, no mistakes, no room for sloppiness, no room for not giving it 110%, and if I see you're not giving it 110%, you're coming off. Got to be on the top ball, and that's what's got to happen on Sunday. Shabba says, hola, Cam again. Hello, Shabba, I hope you are doing well. Shabba also says, I'm going to watch it in the dark under the duvet with one eye on mute. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'll be at Goodison Park, but I hate derbies when it comes to them. And Matthew says, can we please smack them? Hopefully, not physically smack, but hopefully we metaphorically smack them in a footballing sense. But yeah, listen, like I said, for me, Liverpool, they've been exposed this season. They were exposed by West Ham. They should never have won that game. The goal was 33 million yards offside, and the assistant referee's looking at it again. Why didn't Liverpool want VAR? It's very clear to see. They've had games this season where they've been exposed. Don't get me wrong, they're a very, very good footballing team. They're not top of the league for nothing. And I'm not going to sit here and slate them. I'm not going to sit here and say, they're shit. They're not as good as you think they are. Because they are. They're top of the league. And, you know, in some games this season, you know, you only have to look at Wednesday night against Watford, for example. They've been fantastic, and they've blew teams away that they've needed to blow away, and that's why they are where they are. Like I said, they've lost one game this season against Manchester City, who, in my opinion, are the best team in the league. City have lost 4 games this season. They've slipped up against the teams like Crystal Palace. Liverpool are a very, very good team, but they can be beaten, and they can be torn down if you know how to do that. And, you know, West Ham proved that. What we need to do is we need to make sure that we approach this game from a point of view as to that we're not scared of you, we're not worried about you, and we're not going to back down. It's a Merseyside derby. We're going to give everything. We're going to show heart, passion and fight, and more importantly, we're going to show our class as well, like we did in that derby at Anfield. We're going to show that we can create chances. We're going to show that we can get past your defence, and we're going to show that, you know, in terms of footballing, we can play football. Andre Gomez can hold the ball up. He absolutely run the game at Anfield, so he needs to show that he can do it again on Sunday at Goodison Park, and that's what we need to show. And, you know, the least we need from our players is 110%, 150%, 200%. That's the least we expect every game, but it needs to happen on Sunday. It really, really does need to happen, and, you know, we can only hope that Marco Silva is saying that same message to the players. Samuel says, I still think Marco Silva is the right manager. Fair enough, I do as well at the minute, to be honest with you, and I definitely think he should be given the time. Anyway, we'll go over my predicted starting 11, the starting 11 that I think Marco Silva will go for Sunday. Again, it's not necessarily the starting 11 I'd go for. There's a couple of players in there that played really, really well on Tuesday that have been taken out, and we'll talk about them, of course. This is the starting 11 that I think Marco Silva will go for, and I think it's a starting 11 good enough to challenge Liverpool as well. So I've gone for Jordan Pickford in goal again. Self-explanatory. Seamus Coleman at right back grew into the game on Tuesday, of course, got himself an assist and seemed to be playing, you know, better than what he has been in recent weeks. Luca Dean at left back. Marco Silva confirmed in his pre-game press conference today that the only injury that we have had in the last week is Leighton Baines has picked up an injury. Everybody else is fit. Yerry Mina's fit for selection and Kurt Zouma is fit should Marco Silva take that decision. So Luca Dean at left back, given that Leighton Baines is injured and given that, you know, Luca Dean's just fantastic. Anyway, I've gone for Michael Keane and Kurt Zouma at centre half. Now, this is the first decision that I think Marco Silva will make, and the first decision that some fans might not be happy about, and I can see why they wouldn't be happy about. So you can clearly see there the difference of the team that played Cardiff and beat Cardiff 3-0 very convincingly in the end, and this predicted starting 11 is Phil Jagielka has come out. Now, I just want to say, I want to go on record and say I think Phil Jagielka was absolutely quality against Cardiff. I think he was outstanding from start to finish. I think on the ball, he is a little bit rocky, he is a little bit shaky, he hasn't got that yard of pace that he once had, but let's be honest, the lad's, you know, coming to the end of his career now, his contract runs out in the summer, he hasn't necessarily got the legs that he had 10 years ago, and, you know, maybe that affects your decision making when you get older, when your body starts to not be able to do what your brain thinks it can do, because Phil Jagielka's got a fantastic footballing brain. That's when you start making silly mistakes. But there's one thing that we weighed on Tuesday, and I don't think anybody would disagree, and that was defensively organised. That was solid defensively, and we actually looked like a unit for the first time in a while defensively. Any ball that come into the box was dealt with. Anything that, you know, got presented to us was dealt with. And every time Cardiff, you know, middled the way through and got an opportunity in the box, the defence was positioned exactly how it should be and was dealt with. And I think that's massively down to Phil Jagielka. I think that's massively down to the impact that Phil Jagielka has on this team, and the fact that, like I just mentioned, he's got that footballing brain. He mightn't have all the ability in the world, and he might be coming toward the end of his career, but you never lose the intelligence. And that's what he's got. He's got a footballing brain. And it showed on Tuesday night. Now, obviously, coming up against a team that have got a lot of pace up front, coming up against a team that are known for hitting people on the break and doing it fast and scoring goals on the break, and a team known for, you know, scoring a lot of goals as well, I just think Marco Silva will take Phil Jagielka out of this team, because I think he'll look at it and he'll think, listen, we need two defenders that are on the ball, but also have got the pace to keep up with Liverpool's attackers if they need to, you know. Also have got, you know, the ability on the ball to spray a pass, on the ball to bring the ball out if they need to. Whereas I think Marco Silva might look at it and go, if we do get caught in possession, is Phil Jagielka at his age going to be able to get back in time, going to be able to tack back in time and pick his man up, going to be able to, you know, hold the ball and run the ball out into the midfield? And I think Marco Silva will look at it and maybe take the decision to either put a Yerry Mina or a Kurt Zouma in. In terms of them two, I think it'll be Kurt Zouma over Yerry Mina, just because I still think that Yerry Mina's probably not 100% fit. Yes, he mightn't be carrying an injury anymore, but again, he hasn't played for a matter of weeks now, and to stick him in a Merseyside derby would probably be setting him up for failure, if I'm being honest. Whereas Kurt Zouma obviously has played a lot of games this season, and, you know, literally played a couple of weeks ago before that break of 17 days, of course. So I think, for me, listen, I just want to say my opinion on it. I wouldn't be opposed to starting Phil Jagielka on Sunday, and if I see the team sheet at 3:30 on Sunday and Phil Jagielka's in it, I wouldn't be too displeased, because I think he showed that his organisation skills are still fantastic. He showed that he's still got that footballing brain, and he organised us and he led us to a win on Tuesday night. So I don't think you could really have an issue with him being kept in the team by Marco Silva. I can understand where people are coming from by saying, you know, but he hasn't really got the pace, he hasn't got the yard of pace. Is he going to be able to keep up with Liverpool's attackers? Because if they do tear him to bits in the first 2 minutes, then, you know, we're in for a long, long day. I understand that point of view, but I'd also understand the other point of view of saying, well, look how well we played defensively on Tuesday. Look how solid we were. And again, you know, it's a difficult one, really, because we're contrasting and we're having to compare Tuesday's performance against Cardiff, who are one of the, you know, the poorest teams in the league, let's be honest, and Sunday's game against, you know, at the minute, the best team in the league, top of the league, and we're having to compare, you know, well, he played really, really well against Cardiff, but it's a totally different game on Sunday against a totally different set of players, clinical players that if you make that split mistake that Phil Jagielka made in the first couple of minutes, they will punish you. So that for me is why I think Marco Silva will take Phil Jagielka out and maybe bring in a Kurt Zuma. Going into the midfield now, I've gone for a 3 of Andre Gomes, Idrissa Gana Gueye and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Now this is the other big change I wanted to speak about. Listen, I just want to go on record again personally to say I think Morgan Schneiderlin was absolutely fantastic on Tuesday night. I think we seen a Morgan Schneiderlin that we haven't seen since he first joined Everton. We seen a Morgan Schneiderlin that was running forward, that was pressing high up the pitch, that was moving. He was taking it into his own, mind to move about. He was picking the ball up and he was passing balls forward. He wasn't just turning around and looking behind him. He wasn't just thinking, right, I've got to go back now. I've got to do a 360 pin and I've got to pass it sideways or backwards. He was getting the ball and he was looking forward. And I think he was fantastic on Tuesday night. I really, really do think he was a massive contender for man of the match, other than Gylfi Sigurdsson, who obviously scored the 2 goals. I think Morgan Schneiderlin's up there as well because I thought he was fantastic. However, I think Morgan Schneiderlin was brought into the team on Tuesday by Marco Silva because Andre Gomes or Tom Davies was going to play on Sunday. I think Marco Silva probably said, right, we're playing a team like Cardiff. Realistically, we should beat Cardiff no matter what team he put out. So, Morgan, I'm going to give you the run. If you don't want to be here next season, here's your opportunity to put yourself in the shot window. And I know somebody commented in the game review to the Cardiff team that that's all Morgan Schneiderlin was playing for. Again, we don't know that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I think it's going to be a tough decision to take him out of this team because of how well he played on Tuesday night. Obviously, playing that fantastic ball through to Seamus Coleman as well, which led to the first goal. However, very similar to the Jag situation, I think we have to think overall about who are our best players, who not just on paper, but who are our best players that are going to give us the biggest opportunity to win this game. And you have to say Andre Gomes is in there, whether he's been playing, well in the last few weeks or not. Andre Gomes against Liverpool in December was the best player on the pitch and absolutely ran the game. He dictated that midfield from start to finish, and the only real negative about his game in the derby of December was he didn't finish that header that realistically he should have put away. But other than that, he was absolutely fantastic. So I think Marco Silva will look at it in the term of, okay, we've got Morgan Schneiderlin who played really, really well on Tuesday. However, in terms of going forward, in terms of being composed on the ball, in terms of being the all-round midfielder that we'll need in a game like the Merseyside derby, who would we rather have, Morgan Schneiderlin or Andre Gomes? And I think Marco Silva will go with Andre Gomes, or like I said, maybe Tom Davies as well in there. It was a decision for me to make between Gomes and Davies and Schneiderlin, but I've gone with Gomes. Tom Davies may well be obviously in contention. We know he's not injured. Marco Silva confirmed today that there was no injuries except Leighton Baines, and we know he wasn't even included in the squad on Tuesday night as well. So it's very clear that he must be in the plans to play some involvement on Sunday, whether it be starting, whether it be coming off the bench, whether it be playing next to Gomes. He must be in the plans to be involved. So maybe it will be Tom Davies next to Idrissa Gana Gueye, or maybe it'll be Gomes next to Davies, who knows. But I just think that Marco Silva will take the decision to bring Morgan Schneiderlin out in this game and play a player like Andre Gomes, who we know can dictate the play against a team like Liverpool, because we've already seen it this season. So having said that, I've gone with Idrissa Gana Gueye next to him. Again, very similar situation to what we were talking about with Seamus Coleman, very similar situation to what we were talking about with Gylfi Sigurdsson. I thought Seamus Coleman started the game a little bit iffy on Tuesday, but I thought he definitely grew into the game as the minutes went on, obviously getting the assist for Gylfi Sigurdsson's first goal, a really, really good assist as well. And then, like I said, he grew into the game. He started to get a little bit more defensively assured, and he started to break forward as well a little bit more and see a glimpse of the old Seamus Coleman. He still and never will be what he was, because obviously, like I said, he's had a really, really bad injury, and for me, it kills me to say, but he is only declining. But when you look at a Merseyside derby, you have to sit back and you have to think, okay, John Joe Kenny, is he experienced? He's a Scouse lad, brought up in Everton fan. He'll know what it means to play against Liverpool, and he'll have that aggression. And maybe Marco Silva will go with that because he's got that aggression. But Seamus Coleman's got the experience as well, and I think it's fair to say that Seamus Coleman will be in this team again. Like I said, similar situation with Idrissa Gana Gueye. Grew into the game on Tuesday night. Very clear that he's probably going to play a lot more games in an Everton shirt until the end of the season, because it's likely that he will leave the club at the end of the season if he gets his wish anyway, if it's up to him. So again, like I said, I think Idrissa Gana Gueye will partner Andre Gomes. I've then gone for Gylfi Sigurdsson in the number 10 role. Now listen, I predicted that Gylfi Sigurdsson wouldn't start against Cardiff, and if Gylfi Sigurdsson didn't have a fantastic game against Cardiff, I'd probably predict that he wouldn't start again on Sunday. For me, this is a massive game for Gylfi, personally, for me, because he needs to do what he done on Tuesday on Sunday. and he needs to prove that he's not just a player that'll have one alright game in 10, or one, you know, good game in 10, and then the other 9 he's not involved, because I've seen that too many times from Gylfi Sigurdsson this season. I really like Gylfi Sigurdsson, I do, but too many times this season I've just seen him waddling around in games and not doing enough. And, you know, you've seen a block of 4 or 5 games, and realistically, you know, if he wouldn't have been on the pitch, you wouldn't have noticed, basically. So Gylfi Sigurdsson needs to now look at that game on Tuesday and go, right, I was clinical there, the chances I got, I put away, I played well, I scored the 2 goals, now I need to go and do that on Sunday. I'm not saying, you know, if he doesn't score 2 goals, it's a bad game. What I'm saying is he needs to put that same effort in, and he needs to be as clinical, and he needs to be as creative on Sunday, and he needs to show that he's a good footballer, not just a good footballer, a quality footballer, and good enough to be in this team, because there's too many games this season I've seen Gylfi Sigurdsson shy away. Obviously, he's more than likely going to be in the team because of the fact that, you know, he scored 2 goals on Tuesday, and it'd be really tough for Marco Silva to drop him. But I think it's important that he has a very similar game to the one that he did on Tuesday, because again, in a very similar fashion to the way we were speaking about the result in itself, saying, you know, the Cardiff result doesn't really mean much if we don't get a decent result on Sunday. Very similar, you know, personal wise for Gylfi Sigurdsson. If Gylfi Sigurdsson goes on Sunday and is absolutely anonymous and is just walking around and doesn't do anything, then it makes the, you know, his performance against Cardiff seem just a little bit irrelevant, really, because the game where it really mattered, where we really needed to show heart and passion, he would have not done much. So hopefully Gylfi Sigurdsson understands that, and hopefully Marco Silva's drilling that down to him as to, look, you need to do that again. What you've done on Tuesday, you need to do it again against Liverpool on Sunday, because it's a tough game, it's a derby, you've played in them before, you know what it means, so go out and show the fans that you know what it means, and show your heart and show your passion. In terms of the front three, I've gone for Bernard on the left, Ademola Lookman on the right, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. Now, obviously, I've taken Richarlison out of this team. The reason I've done that is because I think Richarlison against Cardiff, I think he's getting frustrated in his own performances, to be honest. I know Evertonians are getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated at the fact that he's trying to do difficult things rather than just doing the simplicities. He's trying to try that extra little bit harder, I feel, rather than, like I said, just doing the simple things, beating your man, getting your shot on target. He's trying to beat his man with a Rabona flick or with this and all that, rather than just, you know, seeing a ball and passing it off if that's a better option. If your option is to take your man on and that's the best option, you do it. But if your option is to pass, then you do that. I think Richarlison at the minute is seeing an option to pass, which is a better option, and just thinking, I'm going to take the man on because if it works, I'll look decent. And he needs to drill into his head that that doesn't work in this league, and he can't be like that. Having said that, of course, Richarlison as well in recent weeks has, you know, been a little bit guilty of throwing himself on the floor a little bit too much, trying to get fouls from referees that, you know, you're not going to get in this league. Mentioned it earlier on the stream, Martin Atkinson, the referee, absolute shocker of a referee, and I'll tell you now in the preview, I'll probably say the same in the instant match reaction in the review. He's a shocking referee, and don't be surprised if he gives Liverpool a decision that is absolutely ridiculous on Sunday. So Richarlison's not going to get anything from him. He's not going to get anything from him. So for me, Bernard deserves to come in. I think Bernard, when he come on, obviously made that instant impact, getting involved for the second goal, getting himself in the right position, beating his man. And like we said in the game preview to the Cardiff game, what Bernard does is, if Bernard can beat his man and get into the box, he can't be touched, because he's small, he's quick, and he's got the footballing brain, and he's got the talent to take players on. So if he's touched in the box and he goes down, it's got to be a penalty. So I think Bernard will be fantastic in this game, because he will be able to get behind Liverpool's defence. You know, Liverpool have got 2 really, really big centre-halves and 2 quite decent, you know, full-backs as well. But Bernard will be able to get behind there. And like I said, if he gets in the box, players will be hesitant to commit. So he's automatically got that little bit more room to find a pass or find a shot or think about what he's doing. Because if he knows that if he puts his body in the way and he gets touched, he's going down, and it's got to be a penalty. I say it's got to be a penalty. You never know with Martin Atkinson, do you? But that's why I think Bernard should come in. I've gone for Ademola Lookman on the other side. Now listen, I think Theo Walcott again was a little bit anonymous on Tuesday. I don't think he done enough for me. I think he's struggling confidence-wise, and I think he, you know, we mentioned this, but we've mentioned this previously. I think, and he had a couple of games out the team, but I think again he just needs a little bit of a rest. He needs to sit out a little bit, because playing a footballer that isn't confident and that is constantly, you know, seemingly unconfident, it's not really going to help him. I know the only way for him to get out of this drought is to play football matches. And you know what I liked about Theo Walcott's performance on Tuesday night is that he wasn't afraid to have a shot. He had that shot from just outside the box, which would have been an absolute worldie if it went in. It didn't, but I like that about Theo Walcott. He's not afraid to have a shot. He's not afraid to have a go. He's not afraid to, you know, take chances and take risks, and I like that. But personally, I just think for the Merseyside derby, I think Ademola Lookman will give will give us more of a threat against Liverpool, and I think he's different. He's something that Liverpool won't have seen before. He's something that the defenders won't have really focused on. They'll know exactly what Theo Walcott's going to bring. He's going to bring pace down the wing, and he's going to bring the ability to get a ball in and put the ball in the back of the net as well if he gets the opportunity. So to be able to mark for that, Ademola Lookman will come in. They won't know what to expect. They won't know how talented he is. They won't know, what he's going to do. And it's that element of surprise and that element of unexpectancy that we need to give to Liverpool, because there's no point in setting up a team that they can have studied and gone, right, we know how to defend you, we know how to defend you, and we know how to get in behind you. Because they'll win the game. Because let's be honest, their players are better than our players. It kills me to say it, but like I said, they're a very good footballing side. So we need to play to our strengths and nullify theirs. And I think playing Ademola Lookman will give us a massive chance to do that. I've gone for Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, obviously getting the third goal on Tuesday night. Listen, I think Dom is... I really rate Dom, to be honest, I do. I think he's a really, really good footballer. He's played in Merseyside derbies before. Obviously, he won us that penalty last year at Anfield. Last season at Anfield. He knows what it's like to, play in gritty games. He knows what it's like to have to show heart, to have to show passion. And like I said, for me, I really, really like Dom. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Dom, or maybe not so much don't like him, but don't think he's good enough. I think he is, and I think Dom's biggest issue is that maybe he doesn't take his chances when he gets them, but he doesn't have enough service either. He didn't have enough service on Tuesday against Cardiff. He wasn't getting balls into the box to him. He wasn't getting opportunities, and the one real big opportunity he had that you could argue, he put in the back of the net, and it was a really, really good goal as well. So, I think Dom could hurt Liverpool. He can certainly score goals. He can certainly score with his head and can score with his feet, and at the minute, he's the only number 9 that we should be confident in to do that. Unless you put Richarlison back there, which I don't think it'd work, then for me, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin deserves to stay in the team, and I think it will give him a boost of confidence as well, knowing that he's got that trust from the manager. Like I said, this is the team that I think Marco Silva will go with, not necessarily the team that I would 100% go with. I would be tempted, I'm not going to lie, to keep a Morgan Schneiderlin in there. I would be tempted to maybe see the fitness levels of Phil Jagielka and maybe see how, he develops over the next couple of days and maybe put him in there. But this is just the team that I think Marco Silva will set up with. Like I said before at the start of the team, I think the addition of Morgan Schneiderlin into the team was purely because he had the plans to play Andre Gomez and or Tom Davies on Sunday, and that's why he wanted to play Morgan Schneiderlin midweek, to keep those players fit. That might have changed. Marco Silva might have been standing on the sideline on Tuesday thinking, listen, Morgan's really, really impressed me here. He's going to stay in the team. Who knows? We'll have to wait till Sunday to see. Of course, if you haven't enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like. I just want to say as well, I meant to say it at the start of the stream, totally forgot before we go into it, we recently hit 400 subscribers. We hit it yesterday, so I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of you. Honestly, it means more than anything to me. It really, really does. The support has been absolutely fantastic, and I really can't thank you enough. 400 subscribers in like 6 months or whatever, I think it's 6 months we've been going, is absolutely unreal. Everybody that visits the streams, everybody in the live comments today, everybody that's ever been in the live comments, everybody that watches a YouTube video after the stream's gone live, thank you all so much. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe as well. It really, really does mean a lot to me. Oh, dying here. Really, really does mean a lot to me. Like I said, and we're literally to hit 400 subscribers is absolutely, it's mad. It really is mad. And like I said, my goal for the end of the year is 500. For between now and December. So hopefully we can hit that. But like I said, just a massive, massive thank you to everybody. And on that note, if you're enjoying this team so far, please do hit that like button. So we'll dive back into the live comments now. Here we go. Matthew says Marco Silva should ram it down our players' throats about how they'd feel about watching them effing red shites parading through Liverpool with the Premier League trophy. That has to be the incentive. Exactly, we need an incentive, and we need to go into this game. Marco Silva needs to go into this game and tell these players, listen, this means more to every single one of them fans than any game in the season, including the Liverpool fans. It means more than anyone. So you have to give a 1,000,000%, not 100%, 1,000,000%. You have to come off that pitch absolutely bollocksed, with your shorts dirty, your socks dirty, thinking, I can't give an ounce more because I'll collapse. I don't want anyone to collapse, by the way, or get injured, but you need to give, you get me point, you need to give it everything that you have on Sunday, and nothing less is good enough. And if you're not giving, everything, you're coming off, and a player's coming on that will give everything. And that's why I think Marco Silva should be drilling into the players on Sunday. Ralph says, hello mate, what score do you fancy for the derby? I don't like to give score predictions. I don't usually give score predictions. So I'm going to leave it. No, I'm not going to leave it because you've asked me and that would be silly of me. 2-1 Everton. Let's be optimistic. 2-1 Everton. Yeah, hopefully anyway. Hopefully. Where are we? Matthew says, what part of Liverpool are you from? I'm from Waverty. I'm from Walton. Live close to the ground. So, short walk home for me on Sunday if, you know, we lose, and a short walk to the pub as well if we win. Jeff says, you not got a clue, Young Blue. Liverpool FC will win easily, I hate to say. I don't think they will win easily, mate. No derby, well, I say that, but no derby is an easy win, and if you've seen the game at Anfield, you'll know that it definitely won't be an easy game for Liverpool Football Club. Ralph says it's 11 men against 11 men. Belief, that's what our stand should be. Taking belief in ourselves 100%. 100% I agree, we need to believe in ourselves, and that's massively important. These players need to know that. Listen, Liverpool are a very, very good team, but they're not unbeatable. They're not, you know, the best team to ever grace the football pitch. You've seen teams like West Ham who have scored goals against them and, you know, should have won that game. So it's important that we go out there and go, well, hang on, other teams have got through them. How did other teams get through them? How did other teams manage to nullify Salah, nullify Mane, nullify Shaqiri, nullify Firmino if he plays? How did other teams manage to get in behind the likes of Van Dijk, who's the best centre-half in the world? How did they manage that? How do we do that as well? And then we need to, you know, go off the same sort of path. LCFC boy says, hi, just going to lurk while I'm working. Hi, mate, you are okay. David says, Lookman doesn't have pace to concern Robinson, so Robinson will push on at will. Gylfi has got to be up DCL's arse to be able to get us up the pitch. Fair enough. I think Lookman's got a fair bit of pace, if I'm being honest with you, but fair enough. And yet, like I said, Gylfi has to be providing for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He really, really does. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, for me, will score your goals if you give him the service. He's not necessarily the striker that's going to pick the ball up at the halfway line, take everyone on and score goals, but he's the striker that if you put it on a plate for him, not even if you put it on a plate for him, if you give him the opportunities, he will take them. And I think that's really, really important to understand that. Knowing that we now need to give him the opportunities. We need to be constantly putting balls into the box. We need to be constantly giving him the ball, you know, near in the 6-yard box, and, you know, saying, whenever you get that ball, shoot. Have a shot, because he's good enough to put the ball in the back of the net against any team, for me, in my opinion, in the league. He's done it, you know, before against the likes of City. He's done it before against the smaller teams as well, but he needs that service, and I 100% agree. Gylfi has to give that. Matthew says, I'm really worried about set pieces, Cam. You know what? I am as well, mate, but I'm worried about set pieces when we play anybody, to be honest, not just Liverpool. So I think it's important that however we play, I'm not going to go into the zonal marking debate. I'm not going to go into the player for marking debate. But, you know, like you said, we need to be solid, and every ball that comes into the box, we need to deal with. And you know what? We've done that really, really well in the derby against Anfield in December. We dealt with balls into the box really, really well, other than the obvious Van Dijk one for the goal. We dealt generally for the majority of the game, 95 minutes of the game, with balls into the box, even when the Van Dijk was in there. Even when they had, you know, attack after attack, we dealt with it, you know, really, really well. When Yerry Mina was in there next to Kurt Zouma, so maybe that's what Marco Silva might go with, Yerry Mina and Kurt Zouma, and try and replicate the team that played them in December, and try and replicate the style that we played against them in December. Who knows? But like you said there, you know, set pieces is a worry. And it's an issue that needs to be addressed. And it's an issue that might have been addressed in the 17 days that they had off. You know, we weren't really threatened on Tuesday night by set pieces, but you can't take much from that because Cardiff aren't, you know, the best team in the world, and they haven't got the best attackers in the world either. But like you said, you know, we need to be solid, and we need to make sure that any ball that comes into the box we deal with well. So just to summarise, obviously, listen, there's no way I can sit here and hype this game up more than it is. There's no way I can sit here and say this game means more than it, you know, to me than it does to anybody else. This is a Merseyside derby, and this should mean everything to those 11 players on that pitch. This should mean everything to that manager. This should mean everything to everybody at Everton Football Club. And you know what we have to do? We have to go out and we have to show Liverpool, I don't give a shit if you're top of the league. I don't care if you've got Mohamed Salah or you've got Virgil van Dijk. I don't care if Jurgen Tithead Klopp's your manager. I care about Everton Football Club and Everton Football Club only, and this badge on my shirt, and the badge on every one of them players' shirts, and the badge on a load of the crowd shirts who'll be wearing Everton shirts. I care about what's in here. So I'm going to show that those 11 players that go onto that pitch need a bit of that. They need Duncan Ferguson in the dressing room before the game saying, do you know what this means? They need the Scouse Evertonians, the likes of the John Joe Kenny, whether he's in the team or not, the likes of the Tom Davies to step up and go, I ain't going to let you waddle round today, because this means everything to Evertonians, and it means everything to win this game of football. And you know what? It means equally as much to them lot as well. They'll tell you it doesn't, but it does. So we can't go out thinking they don't really care, so, you know, we don't have to care. They do care, and they'll show they care. And we need to show we care more. And we need to put in a really good performance, because let's be honest, we're on the back foot already. They're top of the league. They're a very good footballing side. They're not near us in the table. They're not, you know, we're not challenging with them. They're top of the league, and they could very well win the Premier League this season. Although it kills me to say it, and it's horrible, they could very well win the, you know, the Premier League this season. So we're coming up against, first and foremost, regardless if it's a Merseyside derby, we're coming up against top of the league. So we have to be on our game. We can't be giving balls away sloppily, and we can't be doing silly things. But we need to make sure that we're not doing that, and we're performing to the best of our ability, and we're showing our quality, and we're creating chances, and any opportunity we get, we're putting the ball in the back of the net, and we're defending well. And we need to add that 150% of passion, and that heart, and that fight, and that aggression, and that willingness to it as well. Because if we do that, I think we can get a result on Sunday. Because if we come out all guns blazing in the first 10 minutes and we show that we've got the quality, we've got the composure on the ball, you know, we're going to play good football, but we've got the heart, we've got the fight, and we've got the passion, Liverpool could crumble. Because they've got a lot more to lose than us. In the last 4 to 5 weeks, we've had bad result after bad result after bad result. Yes, we've just beaten Cardiff on Tuesday, but before that, we were performing poorly, and the results were poor. We're not aiming for anything this season. We might be 4 points away from 7th, but that could change in the blink of an eye. So we're not aiming for anything. They are. They can't afford to slip up. The pressure's on them. If we go at them with 110% and we go at them showing that how well we can play, if we play like we did at Anfield and we give that aggression and we give that fight and we give that passion, they could well crumble under pressure. They've crumbled under pressure before as a football club. They've done it last season in the Champions League final. So they could well crumble. But it's important that we give that. And we give that 110%, and the crowd need to do their part as well. We need to get behind the players. We need to make it a hostile atmosphere. We need to make sure that them lot aren't heard singing You'll Never Walk Alone on Sky Sports. We need to make sure that them lot aren't heard singing bloody Leo Leo Ling or whatever the song is. We need to make sure that they know they're in for a real fight and a real battle. Both with the fans, not a physical fight, with the fans and on the pitch as well. That's what we need to do. And, you know, Sunday is massively important for Evertonians because, like I mentioned earlier on in the team, we haven't had a big win this season against a big team. Usually in a season, we have a few big wins against big teams. And usually they're at home, to be fair, and we haven't played any of the big teams at home, bar and Tottenham. So that's fair enough. But we haven't had a big win this season. And what an absolute start it would be if we topped it off against Liverpool. And then, like I said, stepping away from it, the fact it's a Merseyside derby and the fact that you've got to give everything that you have, stepping away from that, we have to look at the fact that we beat Cardiff. We now need to beat Liverpool to get them 2 consecutive Premier League wins, and then we can go on a decent run of form to the end of the season then. Because I said it in the Cardiff review, I've said it today, and I'll say it again. If we don't beat Liverpool or we don't get a good result against Liverpool on Sunday, the Cardiff result is irrelevant. Exactly like the Burnley result was irrelevant. So we need to make sure that we're getting a good... We don't want to be caught in a position where we're just winning the odd game here and there. We're just beating the odd shite team here and there. We need to be in a position where we've got 5 or 6 games of constantly winning, and then we're coming up against teams that are in and around us, your Wolves, your Watford, your Bournemouth, and we're beating them as well. Because that's the position we need to get into. There's no good finishing 7th this season, but having a period in the season where you've only really beat the teams that are really poor, and the teams that are in and around you are beating you. We need to get a good run of form going, and it starts on Sunday. We couldn't be going into this game on a better result in the 3-0 victory against Cardiff. It wasn't a perfect performance, it wasn't, but it was a fantastic result in the end of it. And it was a performance, like I said, that showed character, and the players grew as the game went on, and the players showed more confidence and they showed more passion, and in that confidence they showed how good they were, and they started to get better. Adissa Garnagay was taking players on left, right and centre in the last 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes he was putting the ball out to play. Gylfi Sigurdsson, very similarly, taking his chances, scoring 2 really, really good goals. Games before that, he wasn't interested. Seamus Coleman, first couple of minutes, looking shady. Game goes on, he gets an assist, and he's going forward. We need to take that confidence into Sunday, and we need to start first whistle as soon as Martin Atkinson blows that whistle on Sunday. We need to be playing with the same confidence as that when Kevin Friend blew the last whistle on Tuesday. And we need to bring that confidence along with the passion, along with the fight, and as well, because, you know, like I said, you can have all the passion and the fight in the world. We need to give that little bit of quality as well, and we need to show that we are a good team. Because we are a good team. We've been on a bad run of form, but we're a good team. We've got some really, really good players, and we proved that by demolishing Cardiff on Tuesday night. So let's go out and do that, in my opinion. If you have enjoyed this team, please do leave a like. Like I mentioned, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Matthew says, imagine Everton winning Red Sports with Carragher, Redknapp and Souness crying. Yes, will be an absolute brilliant sight on my Sunday night. Ralph says, we got to win that World Cup, as Jurgen Clown said. Yeah, listen, if we win, I'll be celebrating like it's a World Cup final. I don't care. He's probably right. We will be celebrating like that. If Everton had scored a scrappy goal in the last minute at Anfield to win the game, I'd have probably done that. But I'll admit that I'd have done that. And the reason I don't respect Jurgen Klopp a lot is because he comes out and acts like Liverpool wouldn't do that, and they'd just shake hands and go, oh, that's an expected win. Well, it's clearly not, is it? Because you proved it. So stop being a tit. But that's just my opinion anyway. I've gone a little bit in on Jurgen Klopp today. If there's Liverpool fans watching this, I'm sure they won't be happy. David says, only way we can win is to own the midfield, stop the supply line, and we have a chance. Exactly. We need to nullify their strengths, and their strengths are Salah, are Mane, are whoever play... Firmino or whoever plays next to them. They're their strengths. So we need to nullify them, and we need to make sure that defensively we're really, really strong, and we need to make sure that we are dictating that midfield, that Gomez is dictating that midfield, and that he has a game like he did at Anfield, that Garner is on the ball. Every single pass he makes needs to go to an Everton player. None of this lazy 5-yard passes that, you know, end up at the feet of, you know, Keita or Fabinho or whatever, because they're decent players as well. We need to make sure that every pass ends up at a blue shirt. Where are we? Ralph says, the belief is the most important thing in my game plan, mate. Nothing is won without it. It is priceless. Exactly. We need to believe in ourselves, because if we don't, we won't win the game. We won't get anything out of the game. The players need to believe in ourselves. The lads need to believe in themselves. And Marco Silva needs to as well. And the fans need to as well. We need to believe we can get something out of this game. There's no point knocking up to Goodison Park on Sunday thinking, you might think because of history we're probably going to get beat, but there's no point going, we're going to get sonked here. We're nowhere near good enough. You may as well go in and go, you know what? If we show a bit here, we could get something out of this game. I'm not deluded. And I'm not bitter. And, you know, like I've said, Liverpool are a good team, and they could easily turn us over on Sunday if we don't come with everything. So that's why we need to make sure we do come with everything, and there's no excuse to not to, because it's a Merseyside derby. Like I've said, if you have enjoyed this team, please do leave a like. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back on Sunday, of course, for my instant match reaction to this game. Let's hope it's a positive one, and let's hope it's me with no voice, absolutely over the moon, just sitting there with me camera, smiling for 2 minutes. Let's hope it's that. I'll then obviously be back on Monday at 6:15 for the full game review to the game. Thank you very much to everybody that has been involved in the live comments tonight. It really, really does mean a lot to me. If you have enjoyed this team, please do leave a like. If you're watching this as a YouTube video afterwards, leave your comments in the comment section. What do you think about my predicted starting 11? What is your predicted starting 11? Do you think Morgan Schneiderlin and Phil Jagielka deserve to be in the team on Sunday? And how do you think Sunday's game will go? And what do we need to do? What do we need to show to be able to get something out of Sunday? Not necessarily a win, just a result. What do we need to show for that to happen on Sunday? Anyway, that is going to do it from me today. A massive, massive game. Can't hype it up enough. Can't explain enough how much this means to every single Evertonian. So let's just hope that the players understand that as well. Matthew says, don't ask why, but I generally think we'll win. Their front three never turn up in a big away game. Fair enough, and let's hope that you are right. Let's hope that you are right, Matthew. And, you know, like I said, we couldn't be going into this game on a better result as to the one that we had on Tuesday night. So let's hope that we can take that confidence into the game, and we can take that passion and fight in to Sunday. But anyway, that is going to do it for me. A massive, massive thank you for watching. Just before I leave, I just want to mention, I've still left the link to the Just Giving page in the comments section down below. As I'm sure some of you will know, if you've been in the seas before, I'll be doing these Goodison zip line from one end of Goodison to the other on Saturday the 30th of March, raising money for Everton in the community. Everton in the community, obviously a charity really close to my heart, a fantastic charity trying to raise funds for a new mental health facility that they're looking to build, to be able to give people that are struggling with mental health issues a place to go and just talk to some professionals and just talk about, you know, getting it off your chest, because sometimes that's all you really need to do is get these things off your chest and just talk to someone about it. So I'll leave the link to my Just Giving page in the description if you've got absolutely any spare pennies at all. I really would appreciate if you could drop a little sponsor. Like I said, everything goes towards Everton in the community that I raise, and then obviously I'll be filming the day on Saturday the 30th of March, so you know, you'll be able to see my scared face, probably more excited face to be honest, to do the zip line. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to that, and you know, if you do manage to go out and check it out in the description, thank you very much as well. But that's going to do it for this team. All about Sunday now, all about the Blues, not about Liverpool. Don't care about them, don't care about Klopp, don't care about Salah. I care about Everton, and that's all. And we need to go out and show them, 11 players need to go out and show that they care about every single one of them fans that'll be at Goodison Park. I'll be there. Let's hope for a big result. Thank you all very much for joining the live stream as per usual. Thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching it as a YouTube video afterwards, please do leave a like if you have enjoyed. I'll be back for the instant match reaction on Sunday. Let's hope it's a positive one, and yeah, a massive game. And you know, let's hope that the excitement overrules the nerves, and let's hope that that is the same case for the players as well. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Ralph says to mate. Thank you very much, Ralph. See you soon. Thank you very much to everybody else as well, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.